So raise your hand if you've ever killed the battery of your Himalayan 411. And raise your hand if you've ever been called the day you killed your battery by another company to see if you wanted to try out their battery. Welcome back to another fun episode of Action Motorcycles, Action Figures. This episode, we are talking about this TYKOOL lithium iron phosphate battery that's a replacement for the Himalayan 411. I inadvertently killed mine when I had the trickle charger that I've got set to lithium ion instead of lead acid. And it just is, it's a dead battery and I needed to get a new one. And the folks at TYKOOL reached out the day that I realized I had killed my previous battery and said, hey, did I want to check this one out? Well, originally, you know, I'm not really excited about trying out brand new products I'm unfamiliar with. And usually I want to try things out first. As you guys have seen on my channel with the TIMEOUT stands and other things. But this one's got some really cool features on it that I think you'll like and we'll dive into here in a second. And given the fact that my battery's dead, what am I supposed to do? So come on with me, let's check out this TYKOOL battery and see how it does when we pop it in the old Himalayan. Okay, so like I was saying before, this is the TYKOOL LiFePO₄, say lithium iron phosphate battery offered from TYKOOL. It's made as a replacement for my Himalayan 411 battery. It's got a couple cool features. We'll talk about the weight in just a second, but kind of the coolest thing, they talk about the battery management system, which says it's a computer, but I think you can just chip control, which kind of protects the battery from charging different cells too much. It does a number of different, it adds a number of different benefits that I'll put up on the screen here as battery management system. But one of the really cool things about this battery and why I considered it for the bike is this cool display, which does show you the battery percentage and the voltage right there on the top of the battery. So without having to go get out a multimeter or something like that. My Himalayan is not my primary bike. I do not ride it all the time. So being able to pop the seat off real quick and just do a quick sanity check to make sure that I'm taking care of business with the charger and making sure everything's in tip-top shape before I hit the road is really nice. So this is a cool feature, especially for a bike that's not you're not riding all the time. It's just a great little peace of mind. And honestly, if you are having some sort of issue, some sort of ignition issue or starter issue, being able to hit this button and just double check real quick that the battery should be functioning fine is a good peace of mind. So hats off to TYKOOL for this handy little feature. I do think it's kind of the neatest feature of this battery, and certainly a reason it's worth checking out.
Now hang on a minute. What even is a lithium iron phosphate battery and how does it compare to a traditional lead acid battery? Well, let's look at the traditional battery on the left, the lead acid. It's comprised of lead plates that are submerged in a solution of sulfuric acid and water, which functions as an electrolyte that allows electrons to pass through as the chemical reaction shown on the bottom takes place. So what happens is as the chemical reaction takes place, it produces lead sulfate, which builds up on the lead plates. And as you run your engine and the current's reversed and the battery is quote unquote recharged, the chemical reaction is reversed and the lead sulfate comes off of the plates and you can quote unquote use the battery again. Now looking on the right side, you've got the LiFePO₄ battery, or any, a setup for any kind of lithium ion or lithium iron. Lithium iron's, one flavor of a lithium ion battery, which allows lithium ions to travel back and forth between the positive and negative leads or electrodes as the battery is depleted and then recharged, depending on whether you're riding or just letting it sit there and start up. So you can also see the quote unquote diagram of the battery management system there that makes everything work properly. And again, these are just kind of a diagram. They're not, actual batteries, but conceptually, this is the difference between the two. While we're at it here, just a quick note on fitment. You can see how well this battery goes in. I think it's technically slightly smaller than the original battery, so it just popped in really easy. Great job by TYKOOL of getting these dimensions right.
All right, so one of the biggest features of this new battery is the lightweight compared to the lead acid, original battery. Just picking up this original battery, it is a hefty beast compared to the very light TYKOOL. So let's just do a quick comparison here. Let's check and see the weight of the original battery. A little bit over 7 pounds. That's pretty darn heavy for being as high up on the bike as it is. And now let's check the TYKOOL. Well, right at or just under 2 pounds. And I mean, I think it's meant to be 1.7, something like that. But within the tolerance of the table scale here. Obviously, you can see that's a 5 pound swing, and I can tell you. I mean, it's you can kind of toss this around versus this one, which is a giant 7 pound brick. So that is one strong benefit of this battery, and one positive for choosing one of these to replace your lead acid.
All right, so the battery's in. We've tested it. It's working. We're good. We got good contact. Everything seems to be packed away. One note to TYKOOL, the display on the battery is very nice, but heads up when you're tying it into the Himalayan here, it is very well blocked. So a little bit of surgery to sneak by and try and see our display, but that's okay. It's still pretty easy overall. So not quite as easy as you would hope, but still pretty darn good and way better than before. So here we are, we're all done. Let's go hop on this thing and take a quick little ride.
You saw from the unboxing part of the video that this battery does come with its own trickle charger, which is handy since human error with my old trickle charger is what got me into this mess with my old battery. But if I did have one complaint or one kind of gripe about this this battery and the system, it is these kind of old school clips on the trickle charger. If you've got a fancy battery where you're kind of announcing a battery management system, and you're kind of touting the digital controls of the battery, why not make a charging port so I don't have to deal with all with sparks or clips, or get one of these knocked off or something like that. All the other trickle chargers on the market kind of have that pairing capability, and it would be nice to have that here instead of these clips. But honestly, if that's my one gripe, this timeout. So great, there's some pros and cons, but there's no recommendation on whether or not this is a good battery or whether or not we should use it or not. Well, you've definitely sung its praises with the battery management system and the weight and the display and the alleged longevity. So there's a lot of pros. Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with how the battery might perform long term, or how the trickle charger works, or anything like that.
Well,
so
it
how
sounds
can
like we need to have
possibly
a
make follow-on
recommendation?
video and see if there's, some long-term usage here.
So stay tuned for a long-term usage video on this product. But in the meantime, it's a good little battery and I'm happy to use it on my Himalayan. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always,
Thanks for watching and keep looking for action.